Welcome back, everyone. It's time now for our Green Bay Community Update with Chief of Police Andrew Smith. Let's start with this pair of armed robberies that we saw on Tuesday, Chief. We do have a suspect that we've seen pictures of. Same guy. Now, he targeted the East Side Dairy Queen, and then just about 3 hours later, he went to the Speedway gas station. What's going on here? It looked like he was also apologetic when he robbed these stores.
Yeah, that was a little odd. I always think, you know, crooks need money for Christmas too. And so apparently this guy needed a couple $100, which is all you're going to get in one of these really low-end robberies that we see. But we see it at Christmas time sometimes. We'll see a string of these. We're going to find this guy. We always catch him, and we'll hold him accountable. But it's pretty scary for the people. In this case, it was a little unusual because he was apologetic to the people he was robbing.
Yeah, pretty interesting stuff there. You don't really hear somebody apologizing. And this is, I mean, he was robbing these guys at gunpoint, too. You can't really feel sorry for the guy when he's holding a gun against someone. But so we're still looking for him, though.
We're still looking for him, but we got some pretty good clues. We got some pretty good video. We think we're going to catch this guy pretty quickly.
All right, we'll hear about that more in the days to come for sure. All right, we've also had 2 shootings within just less than a week apart. We had one just this past Monday, the 1800 block of Western Avenue. And this was a pretty scary incident. A 23-year-old man was shot multiple times by a 25-year-old suspect. What's the latest update there?
Right. Well, they apparently knew each other. There was some kind of dispute, and they got together, and one guy came with a gun and shot him multiple times. Victim is still in the hospital, very serious condition. He was hit 4 or 5 times. And suspect, the good news about this suspect was in custody in less than an hour. Our guys on Night Watch did a fantastic job. Night Watch is the crew that's out there right now. They went out right away. They started trying to figure out who's associated with this guy, ended up doing a traffic stop and nabbed the shooter right away. So he's in custody. We're just trying to build a case against him and some of his other buddies that were there with him.
Where was the victim shot? Do we know that? Are you able to tell us that?
Where in the body?
Yes.
Yeah, multiple times. Chest, abdomen, lower back, I think. So he had multiple shots with a firearm.
Wow. So we'll keep you posted with the latest that comes out of that. And then just prior to that, Thursday night in the 1200 block of Chicago Street, right by the station here, another person was shot. He was okay. What's the latest there? Are we still looking for a suspect in that shooting?
We're still looking for the trigger guy in that particular one. That was a dispute, again, between people who looked like they knew each other. This fellow was shot in the arm, obviously not life-threatening, but we take all these things very, very seriously. We've had 4 people who were actually shot in Green Bay this year, and in 3 of the cases, people are already in custody. So we're confident we're going to find out who this was, and we'll get him in, because like I say, we always do. We always catch him.
They always do. All right. And, you know, 2 shootings less than a week apart from Thursday to Monday. Do you have any concerns about them just being so close together?
Well, they're completely unrelated, but of course, when somebody gets shot, it's a concern for me. You know, we reassign people. I have community policing officers that are out there working on problems in the community every day. We reassign them. When something like this occurs, we reassign them to this particular case so they can find out who did it. We also bring in a bunch of extra detectives in the middle of the night to get started on this thing right away in those golden few hours that you can, when you're most likely to catch a suspect or get the good info.
And otherwise, crime throughout Green Bay has been down about 14%.
12% of this as of this week overall. So even though it appears that we're having more of these, and you're hearing a lot about it because we're getting the information out there to everybody, crime actually is down about 12% this year in Green Bay.
All right, and that's the good news there. Jonathan Tubby, he was the 26-year-old man who was shot and killed by officers back in October in the Sallyport area of the Brown County Jail. His family this past weekend came out for the first time and just spoke to the public. Do we have any updates on this case right now? Because there was some concern that there wasn't any video, or what's the latest? Can you give us any update?
Here's a quick update. So the Department of Criminal Investigations, which is the state agency that investigated this, has completed their investigation except for, I believe, the autopsy. And that has all been given to the district attorney. This is a standard procedure. He looks at it and sees if there's any kind of criminal filings that he would be interested in filing. When he's done with that, I've already got a copy of it. I've started to get a team together to do a critical incident review board. Their job is to look at everything that happened in this particular case, see if there were policies violated, see if the officers followed the rules, see if they used the proper tactics, look at everything from A to Z, and in the end, you know, it'll be a while down the road before that is we'll figure out what our guys did right, what our guys may have done wrong, and you know, we'll hold people accountable if they did.
So the investigation's still ongoing. Real quick before we go, holidays coming up. That means right now people are getting packages delivered to their porches. I've had a few packages delivered myself, but of course there's always people looking to snatch them up. How can we prevent that?
You know what? Keep an eye on your neighbor's stuff. If you're getting a valuable, something valuable dropped off by UPS or whatever, make sure you're home so that you can sign for it and you can get it. But anything left out on the porch has the potential to get swiped or get stolen. So, be careful. We got a Ring doorbell, and we're giving away a couple of Ring doorbells we got from the company to people in the community. That's a great tool because then you can see what's coming. You can see when it's there, make arrangements for your neighbor to pick it up, things of that nature.
Home security cameras always worth it to catch the bad guys out there. All right, Chief Andrew Smith, he's one of the good guys, always keeping us protected here throughout Green Bay. We always appreciate the time. And we got to check on the foggy forecast coming up right after this. Stay with us.